Ambition, power. Steer a single one of these, even the slightest turn, towards the wrong direction, and it will surely result into disaster. Uncaring of how many lives must be sacrificed, it can and will destroy anything and everything. Just one. So imagine the calamity that would result from a man of such great influence who has such a strong grip on both and has directed it straight towards malevolence. As the representative of his citizens' will and desire, the Danes who have always wished to claim the luscious and fertile lands of England as their own, it would not be far-fetched to state that King Sweyn's aspiration for these lands would amount to that of the totality of his citizens.
ようやくだ。イングランドの不遜な輩どもに王の力を示さねばならぬ。
Within an immeasurable span of time, the Danes have longed for English lands, but without a good enough reason to claim these, his citizens could only invade and migrate within a small portion of its territory. But due to a very fortunate turn of events for King Sweyn, troops from the English army attacked the Danish settlement, which resulted in the demise of King Sweyn's sister, Gunhild.
そしてその中にはデンマーク国王スベンの妹君グンヒルド様もいたとのこと。
Now granted the perfect reason to strike the English, he took this most opportune moment to declare a full-scale war against England, using his sister's death as its herald. Recruiting not only his kingdom's army but warriors from different clans and even the ill-reputed Vikings, he begun his campaign to take over the entirety of England. Though each have their own reason to involve themselves in this battle, be it its spoils, a chance at fame, or even infamy.
手柄を立てて戦利品の配当を少しでも多くもらおうと必死だよ。
All these men have one thing in common: their desire for war. Their united belief that if they show their full prowess in the battlefield, they will be granted the greatest reward of all: passage to Valhalla.
まさに戦い、まさに死んだ者だけが天界のバルハラに住まうことを許される。
But despite their advance proceeding very well, all their might could not pose a challenge against nature itself. A show of his military wisdom perhaps, King Sweyn temporarily halts his campaign to let his army rest during the winter, but not without first leaving the promise of leading his men himself come summer. Not only him, but one of his sons as well. Continuing the campaign, with the larger force this time around, King Sweyn along with his son leads his army, invading England in a much faster pace now, believing that in order for his son Canute to be able to stand a chance against his other son, Harold, he must showcase his valor in the battlefield, for this was integral if he were to succeed Denmark's throne.
よとてクヌートの身は案じておる。だが我らはバイキングの長、武勇を示さねば民は従わぬ。
So as the campaign continued along, as if being presented the perfect chance for his son to prove himself, their invasion came to a halt in London, due to its greatest obstacles so far. A warrior of great renown, whose allegiance to be thought was that to the Danish kings, but who in fact is only loyal to himself.
お前らと戦った方が面白いってことさ。
Assessing the situation to be too time-consuming, King Sweyn leaves the siege of London in the hands of his son, in order for the plan of invading the rest of England to proceed along. But if the rumors of this monster was true, that even with such a weak army, as long as he sides along with it, would be able to overcome any odds.
トルケルには全軍ですらかなわぬのです。その5分の1の兵力で当たるなどご無理です。
Then why did the king leave such an important task to his son whose experience in the battlefield was almost nil? Not able to go against the king's wishes, his son was left with 4,000 men to continue the siege. Only to go through this roller coaster of being uncertain of his fate in the face of such a monster, to being captured, rescued, and now escorted back to his father. But, as if to clue us in as to why his father, the king, handed the responsibility of taking London to his son, his rescuer had only this to say.
王者の面じゃねえってな。
Using the prince as their leverage to win the king's favor, they planned to deliver him safely to his father. Of course, such an important mission would unsurprisingly have hurdles that will continuously try to detract it. Trying to evade and escape from a monster tirelessly tracking them, agreements and promises of a truce with other nations, ambitious, and even silencing an entire innocent village by murdering almost every local that lived in said village, so as not to reveal their location to their enemies.
一人でも脱走されたら敵地の真ん中でもたついてることをチクられる。そいつはいただけね。
All the while, as his son was journeying along with his band of mercenaries, King Sweyn also wanted to know just what his son's current status was. Where was he? In what condition was he in? King Sweyn not even certain if his son was still alive or if he actually perished in one of their encounters with the English resistance. Was this a show of concern perhaps? A man worried about his son? Was this nothing more than a king forgetting his position within his domain and prioritizing his role as a father?
こたび王陛下が殿下を戦場へ伴ったのは殿下を戦死させるためだ。
The hard truth comes falling down. Theirs were a family in which the throne took precedence, fighting for it, even eliminating any candidate who tried to stake their claim. The fact that King Sweyn himself had already set the plan of his son's death in motion. How would they now proceed? Who can they even trust now? The favored prince, the condemned brother, the malevolent king. Ambition, power, legacy. Steer even one of these towards the wrong direction. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then don't hesitate to hit that like button as hard as you can. And if you didn't, hit that dislike even harder. Remember to subscribe to get more of the good stuff. And let me know your thoughts on King Sweyn and his plan to kill his own son. As an anime-only viewer, did you see it coming? Or were you completely blindsided? Just comment down below. Until next time.